Listen closely. Right now, in this moment, something extraordinary is about to happen. You're about to realize that the most powerful force in your universe is not external. It's within you. The journey of walking alone isn't a path of isolation. It's a road of profound self-discovery and unbreakable inner strength. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, unexplored landscape. Your heart is racing. Your mind is filled with a mixture of excitement and fear. This is precisely where transformation begins. The moment you decide to step away from the familiar, from the comfortable crowd that has defined your existence, you start creating your own narrative. Walking alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It means you're courageous enough to trust yourself more than you trust the opinions, expectations, and limitations others have placed upon you. Think about the most significant moments of your life. Were they created by following the crowd or by making bold, sometimes uncomfortable choices that went against every single remarkable achievement in human history? Started with someone who was willing to walk a path nobody else could see. They weren't superhuman. They were ordinary people who made an extraordinary choice to believe in themselves when no one else would. Consider the tiny seed. It doesn't apologize for growing differently. It doesn't seek permission to break through concrete. It simply knows its purpose and pursues it relentlessly. When you walk alone, you become that seed. You develop a resilience that cannot be manufactured by external validation or temporary motivation. The world will constantly try to place you in predefined boxes. Society has intricate systems designed to make you conform, to make you comfortable, to make you predictable. But comfort is the silent killer of potential. It's the anesthesia that numbs your dreams, dulls your ambitions, and makes you settle for mediocrity. When you choose to walk alone, you're making a radical declaration to the universe. You're saying, I am not defined by my circumstances. I am defined by my choices, my courage, and my unwavering commitment to growth. This path isn't easy. There will be moments of doubt, moments when the silence of your solitary journey feels overwhelming. Moments when the familiar voices of compromise will tempt you to return to the safety of the crowd. But these are the precise moments that will forge your character. What dreams have you abandoned because they seemed too difficult? What passions have you silenced because they didn't align with others' expectations? Walking alone means reclaiming those dreams, resurrecting those passions, and creating a life that resonates with your deepest, most authentic self. Every great transformation begins with a single courageous step, and that step is always taken alone. No one can walk your path for you. No motivational speaker, no book, no mentor can do the internal work required to unlock your potential. They can guide you, inspire you, but the actual journey, that's yours alone. Think about the most powerful machines in the world. A rocket doesn't need consensus to launch. A tsunami doesn't ask for permission to reshape coastlines. A tornado doesn't seek approval before demonstrating its power. Similarly, your potential doesn't require external validation to manifest. Walking alone means developing an internal compass, so strong that external noise becomes irrelevant. It means cultivating a sense of self so profound that criticism becomes feedback and challenges become opportunities for growth. Loneliness is a perception. Solitude is a choice. When you walk alone, you're not experiencing loneliness. You're experiencing freedom, freedom from expectations, freedom from limiting beliefs, freedom to design a life that is authentically, unapologetically yours. The crowd will always be there offering comfort, suggesting the safe route, presenting logical arguments for why you should not venture beyond the known. But greatness was never achieved by being logical. Greatness emerges when you embrace the illogical. When you trust the whispers of your heart more than the loud proclamations of conventional wisdom. Your journey of walking alone is not about rejecting others. It's about honoring yourself. It's about creating such a strong connection with your inner truth that external influences lose their power to shake your foundation. Every master was once a beginner who decided to walk a path nobody else could see. Every revolutionary thought started with someone willing to challenge the status quo. Every breakthrough came from an individual who refused to be limited by collective mediocrity. Are you ready to walk alone? Are you prepared to trust yourself more than you've ever trusted anything or anyone? The path awaits. Your transformation begins now. Conformity is a subtle prison. Its bars are not made of steel, but of expectations, social conditioning, and the fear of being different. Walking alone means understanding these invisible constraints and courageously breaking free from them. From the moment we enter this world, we're systematically programmed. Educational systems, social structures, familial expectations, they all contribute to a blueprint designed to create predictable, manageable individuals. But you're not meant to be managed. You are meant to be unleashed. Think about the last time you genuinely listened to your inner voice, not the voice influenced by fear, not the voice conditioned by past experiences, but the pure, unadulterated voice of your authentic self. When was the last time you made a decision purely based on what resonated with your soul? Conformity promises safety. It whispers sweet nothings about belonging, about fitting in, about being accepted. But at what cost? The cost of your dreams, the cost of your potential, the cost of living a life that feels like it belongs to. Every time you choose to follow the crowd, you're trading your unique magic for temporary comfort. You're exchanging your extraordinary potential for ordinary existence. Walking alone means recognizing this trade and refusing to participate in this silent negotiation. Imagine your life as a canvas. Conformity hands you a pre-sketched image and says, color within these lines. Walking alone means grabbing that canvas, throwing away the predetermined sketch, and creating a masterpiece that reflects your true essence. The world doesn't need more copies. It needs originals. It needs individuals who are brave enough to challenge the narrative, to question the established norms, to create rather than replicate. Consider the most significant transformations in human history. They were never achieved by those who followed the rules. They were initiated by individuals who were willing to be misunderstood, who were brave enough to walk alone when everyone else was walking in the opposite direction. Your uniqueness is not a liability. It's your greatest asset. The parts of you that feel different, that don't fit perfectly into societal expectations, those are the exact parts that hold your most profound power. Walking alone requires you to develop an immunity to external validation. It means creating a sense of self-worth that is not dependent on likes, comments, approvals, or societal markers of success. Your worth is inherent. It exists independent of external measurements. Every time you choose authenticity over acceptance, you're not just making a personal choice. You're creating a ripple effect. You're showing others that it's possible to live a life true to oneself. You become a silent revolution, inspiring others to embrace their unique. The fear of walking alone often stems from a deeper fear of being seen. Being truly seen means dropping the masks, the personas we've carefully constructed to fit into various social contexts. It means showing up as you are, raw, vulnerable, imperfect, and incredibly powerful. What mask are you wearing? What parts of yourself have you hidden to ensure social acceptance? Walking alone means having the courage to remove these masks, to stand naked in your truth, knowing that your authenticity is far more powerful than any constructed persona. Conformity teaches us to seek external permission. Walking alone teaches us to grant ourselves permission. Permission to dream, permission to fail, permission to rise, permission to redefine success on our own terms. Your journey of walking alone is not about being rebellious. It's about being true. It's about creating such a strong alignment between your inner world and outer expression that compromise becomes impossible. Remember, the most powerful movements in history started with individuals who were willing to stand alone. They didn't seek approval. They sought transformation. And in their solitary stand, they changed the world. Are you ready to break free from the chains of conformity? Are you prepared to walk a path that is uniquely, magnificently yours? Solitude is not a state of emptiness. It's a sacred space of creation. When you choose to walk alone, you're not choosing isolation. You're choosing an intimate relationship with yourself. A relationship so profound that it becomes the foundation of your entire existence. Most people fear solitude. They fill their lives with noise, with constant interactions, with meaningless distractions. But true growth happens in the quiet moments. It happens when you sit with yourself, when you listen to the whispers of your soul that get drowned out in the chaos of collective living. Walking alone means developing a relationship with yourself that is so rich, so nurturing that external relationships become a choice, not a necessity. You stop seeking completion from others and start experiencing wholeness within yourself. Imagine your inner world as a vast unexplored territory. Most people are too afraid to venture into this landscape. They prefer the well-trodden paths, the familiar territories mapped out by others. But you're explorer of your inner universe. Every moment of solitude is an opportunity for alchemy. You transform pain into power. You convert challenges into character. You transmute limitations into limitless potential. This is not a metaphorical process. This is a real, tangible metamorphosis that happens when you're willing to sit with yourself. The world will try to convince you that loneliness is a weakness. But loneliness and solitude are two different experiences. Loneliness is a state of scarcity. Solitude is a state of abundance. In solitude, you're never truly alone. You're in the most profound company possible. The company of your authentic self. Walking alone requires you to develop an internal dialogue that is compassionate, honest, and transformative. It means learning to speak to yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend. It means creating an inner sanctuary where self-judgment is replaced by self-understanding. Your capacity for growth is directly proportional to your willingness to be with yourself. Most people run from themselves. They fill their lives with external achievements, hoping these will cover up the internal emptiness. But true achievement begins when you're willing to sit with your vulnerabilities. Think about the most powerful natural phenomena. A seed doesn't become a tree overnight. It requires time in darkness, in solitude, in quiet transformation. Similarly, your most significant growth happens in the moments nobody sees, in the quiet spaces between external achievements. Walking alone means developing a trust in yourself that is unshakable. It means creating such a strong internal foundation that external circumstances lose their power to destabilize you. You become like a mountain. Every great creation in human history was birthed in moments of solitude. Artists, scientists, philosophers, they all understood the magic that happens when you remove external noise and listen to your inner wisdom. Your solitary journey is not about rejection. It's about selection. You're selecting experiences, relationships, and opportunities that align with your highest self. You're creating a life of intentionality rather than accidental living. Solitude teaches you the most important skill. Self-regulation. You learn to generate your own motivation, your own inspiration, your own joy. You stop being a consumer of external stimuli and become a creator of your internal experience. What parts of yourself have you been avoiding? What conversations have you been postponing with yourself? Walking alone means having the courage to face these internal landscapes, to explore the territories within you that you've been too afraid to visit. Your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. When you walk alone, you're not just transforming yourself. You're redefining the very nature of human connection. Are you ready to enter the alchemy of solitude? Are you prepared to transform your inner world and, consequently, your entire external reality? Self-doubt is not your enemy. It's a messenger. When you walk alone, you'll encounter this messenger repeatedly. And how you engage with self-doubt determines the trajectory of your journey. Most people view self-doubt as a stop sign. But what if you started seeing it as a signpost? A signpost that says, you're expanding beyond your current comfort zone. Keep going. Every significant breakthrough is preceded by moments of intense self-questioning. The most courageous individuals are not those without doubt. They are those who continue moving forward despite the doubt. Walking alone amplifies your internal dialogue. Suddenly, there are no external voices to drown out your inner critic. You hear every whisper of uncertainty, every murmur of fear. But here's the transformative insight. These voices are not obstacles. They are invitations to deeper self-understanding. Think about the most powerful machines. A rocket doesn't stop its trajectory because of turbulence. It was designed to navigate through challenging atmospheric conditions. Similarly, you are designed to move through self-doubt, not be paralyzed by it. Self-doubt often masks itself as protection. It tells you stories about potential failure, about the risks of stepping into the unknown. But these are just stories, and you have the power to rewrite them. When you walk alone, you develop a relationship with uncertainty. You start seeing it not as a threat, but as a playground of possibilities. Every moment of doubt becomes an opportunity to build trust with yourself. Imagine self-doubt as a weather pattern in your internal landscape. Some days it might be a light drizzle of uncertainty. Other days it might be a full-blown storm of fear. But here's the key. You are the climate, not the weather. You have the power to create internal conditions that transform doubt into fuel. Most people run from self-doubt. They numb it with distractions, with external validations, with constant busyness. But running only increases its power. True courage is sitting with the doubt, understanding its origins, and then gently, firmly. Your doubt carries wisdom. It's not trying to stop you. It's trying to prepare you. It wants to ensure that you're truly ready for the transformation you're seeking. Learning to listen to doubt without being controlled by it, it is a profound skill. Walking alone means developing an internal resilience that is not dependent on external circumstances. You learn to generate your own stability, your own confidence, your own sense of direction. Every time you face a moment of self-doubt and continue moving forward, you're writing a new story. A story that says, I trust myself more than I fear myself. A story of radical self-belief. What would your life look like if you treated self-doubt as a companion rather than an enemy? What if every moment of uncertainty became an invitation to grow, to expand, to redefine your possibilities? Your journey of walking alone is not about eliminating self-doubt, it's about changing your relationship with it. It's about developing such a strong sense of self that doubt becomes a minor background noise rather than a dominant narrative. Remember, the most powerful transformations happen on the edge of comfort, where self-doubt lives, where uncertainty resides. This is your true growth zone. Are you ready to dance with your doubts? Are you prepared to transform uncertainty into your greatest ally? The journey of walking alone is a sacred contract you make with yourself. It's a commitment that transcends mere personal development. It's a spiritual awakening, a profound reconnection with the most authentic version of yourself that exists beyond societal constructs, beyond fear, beyond limit. Imagine your life as an intricate ecosystem. Most people allow external forces to be the primary architects of this ecosystem. They let societal expectations, familial pressures, and cultural narratives plant seeds that walking alone means becoming the conscious gardener of your internal landscape. Every time you choose yourself, you're performing an act of radical self-love. This is not the superficial self-love portrayed in motivational memes or social media posts. This is a deep, cellular-level commitment to honoring your own journey, your own rhythm, your own unique expression of existence. Consider the concept of energy. In the natural world, energy never truly disappears. It transforms. Similarly, when you walk alone, you're not losing anything, you're transforming. You're converting potential energy into kinetic movement, converting societal limitations into personal liberation. The path of walking alone is not a straight line. It's a complex, beautiful spiral of continuous growth and self-discovery. Each cycle brings you closer to your authentic self, not by adding something external, but by stripping away the layers of conditioning that have obscured your true essence. Your internal dialogue becomes your most powerful tool. When you walk alone, you develop a relationship with yourself that is so profound, so nurturing, that external noise becomes background static. You learn to differentiate between the voice of fear and the whisper of your soul's wisdom. Walking alone does not mean rejecting connection. It means creating connections from a place of wholeness rather than from a place of need. Your relationships transform from transactions of completion to celebrations of individual growth. Think about the most powerful ecosystems in nature. A forest doesn't compete. Each tree, each plant, each organism grows in a way that supports the entire system. When you walk alone, you learn to grow in a way that supports not just your individual journey, but the collective human experience. Self-doubt will visit you. But when you walk alone, you learn to treat self-doubt as a messenger, not a master. You develop the capacity to listen to your doubts without being controlled by them. You become the observer of your internal landscape, not a victim of its temporary weather patterns. Your potential is not a destination. It's a continuous unfolding. Each moment of walking alone is an invitation to expand, to explore territories within yourself that you never knew existed. You become an explorer of your own consciousness, mapping internal landscapes that have never been charted. The world will present you with two primary narratives: the narrative of safety and the narrative of growth. The narrative of safety promises comfort, predictability, and minimal risk. The narrative of growth promises transformation, challenges, and infinite possibility. Walking alone means consciously choosing the narrative of growth. Your courage is not measured by the absence of fear. It's measured by your willingness to move forward despite the fear. Every step taken alone is a declaration of your commitment to your own becoming. You're not just walking, you're creating a path where there was no path before. Understand the profound difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is a state of scarcity, of feeling disconnected. Solitude is a state of abundance, of deep connection with yourself. In solitude, you're not empty. You're full of potential, full of wisdom, full of unexplored territories of consciousness. Your internal world is more vast and complex than any external landscape. When you commit to walking alone, you're committing to exploring this internal universe. You become a cartographer of consciousness, mapping the intricate terrains of your emotional, mental, and spiritual dimensions. The external world will attempt to place you in predefined categories. Professional labels, social roles, cultural expectations, these are merely temporary costumes. Walking alone means recognizing these as external constructs and choosing to define yourself from the inside out. Every great transformation in human history started with an individual willing to walk a path that nobody else could see. Scientific breakthroughs, artistic revolutions, social movements, they all began with someone courageous enough to trust their inner vision more than collective limitations. Your journey of walking alone is not about being different for the sake of being different. It's about being true. It's about creating such alignment between your inner world and outer expression that authenticity becomes your natural state of being. Imagine your life force as a river. Most people allow external dams, societal expectations, fears, inherited limitations to control their flow. Walking alone means removing these dams. It means allowing your life force to flow freely, to carve its own path, to create new landscapes of possibility. Self-trust is not a destination, it's a practice. It's a muscle that gets stronger with each conscious choice. With each moment, you choose your inner wisdom over external noise. Walking alone is how you build this muscle of radical self-trust. Your potential is not something to be achieved. It's something to be uncovered. Layer by layer, moment by moment, walking alone is the most profound method of excavation. You become an archaeologist of your own potential, carefully removing the sediments of conditioning to reveal the magnificent sculpture of your true self. The world needs more individuals who have the courage to walk alone. Not as a statement of rebellion, but as a demonstration of what's possible when one commits to continuous growth, to radical authenticity, to honoring the unique song of their soul. Are you ready to become the architect of your own existence? Are you prepared to walk a path that is uniquely, magnificently yours? As we conclude this journey of walking alone, understand that this is not an end. It's a beginning of a relationship with yourself that will be the most profound, most transformative connection you'll ever experience. Walking alone is not a destination. It's a continuous journey of expansion, of discovering layers of yourself you never knew existed. It's about creating a life so aligned, so authentic, that the very concept of compromise becomes foreign. Your potential is not a fixed point. It's an infinite landscape waiting to be explored. And the only way to truly explore this landscape is by walking alone, by trusting yourself more than any external map, any pre-designed route. Think about the most remarkable individuals in history. They were not extraordinary because of their achievements. They were extraordinary because of their willingness to walk alone, to trust their inner guidance more than collective narratives. When you walk alone, you're not just transforming yourself, you're sending ripples of transformation into the world. You become a living demonstration of what's possible when one chooses authenticity over acceptance, growth over comfort. Your journey is not about being better than others. It's about being truer to yourself. It's about creating such a strong alignment between your inner world and outer expression that inspiration becomes your natural state. Every step you take alone is a declaration that you refuse to be limited by collective definitions of success, of happiness, of purpose. You are writing your own definition, and that definition is continuously evolving. Walking alone requires courage, but more than courage, it requires curiosity. Curiosity about yourself, curiosity about the infinite potential that resides within you, curiosity about the territories of your inner world that are yet. Remember, the most powerful journeys are not measured by external achievements. They are measured by the depth of your self-understanding, by the authenticity of your expression, by your willingness to continuously expand. Your potential is not something to be achieved. It's something to be uncovered, layer by layer, moment by moment. And the only way to uncover it is by walking alone. Are you ready to embrace your infinite?